We've got all of your most commonly asked homeschool questions, and we're answering them right now. Welcome to Kids Learning for Life. That's Jenny.
That's Stacey.
And we're two homeschooling moms. We're here to help parents teach kids the joy of learning.
Because learning doesn't happen just during school, it happens throughout life. Today, we are going to be answering some really commonly asked homeschool questions. We're breaking format here a bit. We're just going to be randomly picking questions and just answering them very candidly. So, here we go. So, do you want to draw first or do you want me to?
I'll do it off
Okay.
first. Okay.
Don't look.
All right, Jenny. What is TK?
I love this question because I don't really know the answer. TK is if your child is born, turns 5 after September 1st in the school year, or in
California.
For California, sorry. We're in California. TK is transitional kindergarten, and basically it's just a program for younger kids to be able to start a kindergarten type program. And then after TK, they don't go into first grade, they go into regular kindergarten. So it's for kids who turn 5 after September 1st.
I agree with everything
Okay.
she said. I don't need to add any more to that. I guess
my
you
turn.
can pick.
My turn. Okay. What is your favorite curriculum right now?
You guys know the answer, right? Layers of learning!
Oh, I should have guessed that. What is Layers of Learning?
Layers of Learning is a unit studies curriculum with art, geography, history, and science all combined into one. And the cool part about this is that it starts, there's 4 years of it, and then so you start in first grade and then go to 4th grade. And once you get to 5th grade, you would start back at year 1. But this time they have different levels of activities. So you don't do every single activity in the book at your first 4 years. And then you repeat those activities at a higher level. And so then you can even do that in the 9th grade as well. If you have, a high schooler and a first grader, they can be learning the same topic, but your high schooler is just going to be doing those higher level activities while your younger one is doing more age appropriate.
My favorite curriculum right now is one that I just started using, and Stacey knows all about it. It's called Lightning Literature. It's kind of like a Charlotte Mason based workbook type thing based on classic literature. So each chapter is based on a different book. And then your child has like these activity pages and kind of practices copy work and recitation and all the stuff. So I love it so far. My daughter loves it, so it's all good.
And if you guys want to hear more about that, we'll put links to our curriculum videos down below so you can check those videos out too. That's fun. How do you make time for yourself while homeschooling? Oh, I like this one.
I don't. No, I'm just This is gonna sound silly. I like doing my hair and makeup. I don't do it every day, but sometimes it's just nice to get up and do that for myself. I also love to crochet, so sometimes I'll just steal away for 10 minutes and just get some of my projects done. I don't know, I can't think of anything else. What about you?
I try to wake up before the kids do. So our kids have one of those like alarm clocks that it turns a certain color to let them know they can come out of their room. So I try to wake up at 6 and have that hour to do whatever I want. I can check emails for work. I can work on these videos.
I do the same thing, but just I stay up till like 1 a.m.
See, you do
that too, though. How do you do both?
I don't do it well. I'll switch between days because I will do that too. Just getting some time for yourself, trying to find it either at the end of the day or the beginning of the day.
That's true.
So it's your turn.
Okay, let's see what this one says. Do you have a favorite homeschool tool? So some examples are printer, planner, crafts, etc.
I don't. I see this question a lot, and I really don't think you need a lot to homeschool. I'm trying to, other than curriculum and, like I said, I use a unit studies but I don't have like one tool that I need. Like I don't need a planner. It helps. But my planner can be a piece of paper. It's not really a tool.
Yeah, I've been finding free printables online. Actually, that's probably my favorite homeschool tool is I found like free daily planners online and I just print that out. So I print out a bunch at a time and then the night before I make a list of things I have to do the next day. And in particular, which lessons I aim to do. I'm not saying I do them all. But
I guess I really do like using the computers and the iPad for like educational apps.
That's a good example.
They've got a few that they use. Our school utilizes iReady, so they use that. So I mean, I guess I just like having that extra tool to be able to use so that, again, if I'm working with one of my other children, I can say, hey, go do some iReady reading lessons, and knowing that they're still getting that learning instruction even when I can't give them the one-on-one. Do you use any educational mail subscriptions?
No. I've looked into a lot of them. I just haven't done any. I've heard really good things about Ivy Kids, Radish, it's a cooking one. KiwiCo. Yeah, what else?
There's
do
a
you,
lot.
Do you have any mail?
There's Mel Science. I don't.
Yeah,
I actually
this is a
don't.
terrible question for
We've
us.
both looked into both of them, and they look really cool.
Oh, another good one I've heard about is History Unboxed.
Ooh, that's another. Yes,
yeah,
I've heard.
Because history is one of these things. The reason why you use layers of learning is to incorporate history easily into your homeschool. They do like targeted for different grades, I believe, different ages.
Yeah, and I think they
like
even
that.
have different, like they have American history, world history, ancient history. So I think they separate it out like that too.
Yeah, so that's a cool one. I would recommend that because I did a lot of research about that one and I got really close to doing it. Maybe I will this year. Who knows? Okay. I guess it doesn't really matter.
This is really hard, guys.
Okay, let's see. Why did you choose to homeschool?
Ooh. I chose to homeschool. So if you don't know, I have my teaching credential. And so once I figured out I wanted to be a teacher, I went to school to become a teacher. That's what you do when you want to become something, I guess. And so while I was going through my credential program, I started having kids. I've always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, and I didn't know how to do that with being a teacher and staying home. And then the more I did the teaching credential program, the more I realized what better teacher than myself for my children. So I started kind of looking into the homeschool options when my kids were like just before they turned into school age. And I would rather be teaching my own children all day than in a classroom with a bunch of other children.
And you know teachers and you trust teachers. It's
Yes.
just like, it's a personal decision, you know, for each family. I guess I've never considered anything but homeschooling. So this is a hard question for me. Yeah, my husband and I just have always decided that we were going to be homeschooling our kids. So it's just something I've been researching since probably even before my kids were born. I don't really remember, but
she knows so much. She's read all the books and all the websites, and yeah,
I love learning about this stuff. I worked full-time for a while, even when my kids were young, and now I'm able to be home full-time, and that's really just, I'm really grateful for that experience. I do like homeschooling. I want to just expand on this because people are like so stressed out about homeschooling sometimes. And for me, it's my favorite part of the day because it's like, as a stay-at-home mom, you don't always have a direction. You know, it's kind of like, I don't know what we're doing next. But homeschooling, it's like, this is what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
So it gives you just that clarity in what's happening right now.
Just a little bit of structure.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Oh, do I check?
Yeah.
I'm just handing you things. How much time do you spend prepping for lessons?
None. That's the answer. I'm really into the open and go stuff. Check out our open and go video.
Yeah, check out our video.
So what about you?
I do a little bit. I do not do weekly planning. If you haven't seen how I do my yearly planning, that helps me kind of stay on track. I do that once at the beginning of the school year, and then it at least gives me a guide. And so I do in that video show you how to kind of break it down to how many, lessons you need per week. So again, I use some open and go curriculum, so it's really easy to know, okay, this week we need to do 4 lessons, so 4 days this week we need to get to math. I choose curriculum specifically so I don't have to spend too much time planning.
Yeah, and I know there are some families who do a lot of prep, and that's great. It's just all about your priorities.
Yeah, and layers of learning does require a little bit of prep, but again, those units are every 2 weeks. I mean, it doesn't take too much time.
Yeah. As long as it's laying out kind of what you need to do.
Yes.
You know, some people just go completely just by scratch or from scratch. They create their lesson plans themselves.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
That's
really
not
cool.
us. There's a lot of these.
Let's see. What is your biggest weakness as a homeschool parent?
Ooh. I'm going to need to think about that one.
It's hard because, I think we all have weaknesses as people, and probably that's your weakness when it comes to homeschooling because it just becomes a part of your life. It probably goes back to what I just talked about. I don't do any planning. I probably should do a little bit more planning. Sometimes it's kind of like, who's really in control of this homeschool? Me or my kids? I guess my biggest weakness is I just don't plan enough. Have you thought of an answer?
Yes, I have. So I think mine is going to be patience. So I also work full-time from home. Sometimes if I have a lot of work to do, I find myself trying to rush my children to hurry up and let's get through this lesson. And so I really need to, I've been working a lot on that this year, trying to not rush homeschooling. You know, if I've got a day where I'm busy, I need to just find another time to do that lesson. Oh. I don't know how to do this.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
How do you keep, oh, this is perfect for you. How do you keep your younger kids entertained? You have 2 older ones and then the baby.
Yeah, so Stacey's kids are all really close in age, so now they're all in school. But me, there's a 4-year gap in between my second daughter and then my third daughter. Usually at her age, she's just over a year old. I'll just leave her in the high chair and just feed her little snacks, little pieces of corn or beans. I don't know. I try to give her what she likes because then she leaves us alone for a little bit. And so as she gets older, I'll probably incorporate some of the activities in our preschool or your preschool curriculum on our website. So check that out if you have younger kids. They're really cool, like tactile or like kinesthetic activities. So eventually I'll incorporate something like that. But for now, she's happy just eating a snack. Aren't you? Just happy.
I know. Just give me a snack and I'm good. I don't quite have that big of a difference, but when I have my youngest, you know, is just in transitional kindergarten, so not even technically kindergarten age. And sometimes my older 2 will be like, wait, how is he done with everything? I mean, you know, because he's not doing very much of the actual workbook stuff yet. There's still a lot of play incorporated. So the older 2, you know, their math lessons might take them a little longer. I just remind them, hey, you know, he's, you know, a lot younger than you, and he will have other activities. He loves going outside and just playing outside.
He's probably like, I'm alone for one.
Right? So just finding other activities for them to do that are entertaining, that will keep them occupied.
Let's see. What is your favorite pastime or hobby? I'd love to hear this answer from you.
Oh gosh. You know, this right here, this channel has quickly become my favorite pastime or hobby. So thank you so much for watching. I love doing this. We're always thinking of new ideas and things to increase what we can provide for you guys. Keep giving us those ideas and we'll keep doing what we can to make it happen.
What she said. That was perfect.
Awesome. Okay. How do you keep your kids motivated? You know,
I don't. No, I'm just kidding. I like how that's my answer for every question. That's really not true.
don't.
I really enjoy the Charlotte Mason method, which encourages using short lessons. And it's really hard. It's almost harder than having long lessons because your child will get this momentum going and get really excited, and then you have to say, okay, let's do the rest tomorrow. And they're like, aw. But I've noticed that gets them really excited for the next day. Also, I heard Susan Wise Bauer, the author of The Well-Trained Mind and the author of Story of the World History Curriculum. I heard her speak in person once, and she was basically like, bribery is not a terrible idea. It's not a bad thing. It's just this whole concept of school can be hard for kids, right? Like it's hard to sit down and focus when all you want to do is go do other things. So if you have a small bribe, like, hey, after we do school, that's when you can listen to that audiobook, or that's when we can have a snack, you know? So little things like that also really help my kids in particular. What about you?
For one thing I can think of for this is I have one child that likes to get things done fast. And so I started creating a checklist of all of the assignments or lessons they have to do for the day. And so I have actually, this has happened, I promise, not like every day, but woken up to my child bringing me their math book and saying, look, I already took the lesson for today.
Stacey's bragging. I'm so jealous.
Like I said, this doesn't happen all the time. So he woke up and the first thing he did was go and start doing his schoolwork so that he would have less to do later and so he could do whatever he wanted to do. They know what is required, and so once they get all those boxes checked, they're done. So it helps encourage them to just like get it done. I think it's your turn.
Okay, we'll do just a few more.
Yes.
Do you use any religious curriculum?
I do not.
So there's not just religious and not religious. There's religious and there's neutral and then there's secular. I use Story of the World is actually considered neutral.
Oh,
so it's not Christian, but it does talk a lot about Bible stories. So it doesn't say this is what happened. It just says this is what people did in history based on what the Bible says. You know? So actually I really like that. I personally am not religious. I have no problem with my children learning Bible stories or even scripture because I don't think that's harmful in any way. So yeah, I guess I kind of subscribe to neutral. So sorry, I cut you off.
No. Same thing. Very
Okay.
neutral. Last one. Hope we pick somebody's really good question. What extracurricular activities do your kids take part in? Let's say pre-COVID.
So my kids used to do, well, they've done all sorts of things, but they used to do dance, and then that wasn't stimulating enough. So then they did like a gymnastics class, which your kids did also. Sorry to take your answer, but yeah, all of our kids did the same gymnastics class, which was really fun. Oh, and then one of my daughters, she did swimming because it was just something she needed to learn how to do. So yeah, those are the main things, just trying to stay very active.
That was what we normally did, the gymnastic, which was more ninja warrior type stuff, so
Yeah.
climbing. I'm actually a little bit jealous that they got to go do all this because I wanted to go climb on all the ropes and the monkey bars and everything. And so they had that all there and taught them how to do the obstacles. So that's really fun. And they really loved that. Oh, they've done some art classes. We did some, I wish I guess, that's extracurricular.
Well, so my kids are going to be doing a virtual art class this semester, which is really cool. I got the workbook I want to show you. But
we'll talk later.
Yeah. Art, I think, is definitely.
Yeah, so one of my children, he loves doing art. So we actually have our favorite YouTube channel, Art for Kids Hub. And it's, they get to draw along with the dad and his son and do all of, or daughter, I think he has multiple children.
He has a bunch of kids.
So anyway, they love doing that as well. And so that's something we can actually do right now.
That's all the questions we have time for today. So if you have any other burning homeschool questions that you want us to answer next time, let us know in the comments below.
And if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe to see more just like this in the future. See you next time!